What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Pablo, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about Diddy. The day has come for him. His first day in court and jury selection has started. We're going to read two articles from TMZ. The first one states, Diddy trial jurors explicit content is coming, ... Too much for you, ? Potential jurors in Diddy's federal sex trafficking trial are getting grilled on topics like X and violence before they get picked because they are being warned the case will include graphic content and some upsetting things they're expected to handle like grown-ups. TMZ obtained the questionnaire being given to prospective jurors, and that's an emphasis on the graphic nature of the allegations against Diddy. For instance, the questionnaire asks, the charges in this case involve allegations of kidnapping, arson, bribery of a witness, obstruction of justice, drug distribution, forced labor, trafficking, and transportation for purposes of engaging in prostitution. Is there anything about that nature of these allegations that would make it difficult for you to be fair and impartial? The video of Diddy beating Cassie is going to be shown at some point during the trial, and jurors are being asked how would they handle it. Jurors are being asked, there may be evidence of graphic videos and photographs, including videos of physical violence in connection with this case. Is there anything about the nature of this evidence that would make you... Sorry about that. Oh, I lost my spot. That would make you be unfair or impartial. There's not one but two follow-up questions, with the first covering evidence of actual explicit videos, photographs, and language in connections with this case. A second follow-up question asks, would you be able to listen and discuss matters of actual nature with fellow jurors? Jury selection started Monday, and Diddy was in court wearing a navy sweater over a white collared shirt, and he told the judge he was so nervous he needed to use the restroom. The judge wants a jury picked within the first 3 days of trial, and jurors are being told that there are no plans for them to be sequestered if picked. TMZ is covering all developments in detail for the length of the trial, and we've got answers to all your questions. Check in often and stay tuned. So, they have started jury selection. Diddy was in court with a navy blue sweater on over a white collared shirt. Told the judge that he was very nervous. I bet he was. And that he had to use the restroom. So what? He had the runs? His stomach was hurting? What was going on with you, Diddy? What was wrong with your stomach? Why did you need to use the bathroom? I'm pretty sure you are nervous as hell. We got one more article that we're going to get into from TMZ. It says, Diddy jurors, I heard about Diddy parties on Rogan. Best moments from jury selection. The first day of jury selection in the Diddy X trafficking trial is in the books, and there were a few standouts, including one prospective juror who said Joe Rogan turned them on to the Diddy parties. The juror told the judge that they heard about Diddy parties involving X and drugs on an episode of Joe's podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, but the juror was not excluded. Another highlight, juror number 20 was caught shoplifting from Universal Studios, and he told the judge he had to get a lawyer after busted trying to get a 5-finger discount on a wand from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Really? Juror number 20 also noted on the questionnaire that they liked a post on social media from a comedian making a joke about baby oil. One prospective juror that caught the defense's attention is juror number 29, a woman who says she works for HBO, the network behind the documentary The Fall of Diddy. Juror number 30 was excluded because of her work at Simon & Schuster, the publisher behind I'll Be Sure memoir, Do You Believe Me Now? The memoir includes Al's ties to Diddy and his romance with the late Kim Porter, the mother of Diddy's children. Prosecutors said the trial wouldn't have much of a focus on Porter or Al, but the woman was excluded. Juror 52 had an interesting scheduling conflict, revealing she wanted to travel to a Spirit Weavers gathering. The judge asked what it was, and the juror laughed and said it's a women's event with a lot of dancing in the woods. What is that? I've never heard of that. Okay. The judge told the woman she would have to miss the Spirit Weavers gathering if selected to the jury, and that didn't seem to be a big deal for her. And she also mentioned an experience with assault in college with a flirtatious neighbor alleging taking things too far. The woman also joked about her job, a bougie design firm that handles fonts. The judge asked, like courier, and the woman responded, oh, never. Juror number 55 was asked about getting a ticket for an open container of alcohol, with the judge laughing and saying, shame on you. Diddy's spending his nights during the trial at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where he's been locked up since his September arrest, and juror number 58 works in the Department of Corrections with a role putting them in charge of incarcerated people's accounts. Juror number 58 also revealed they sued the Port Authority after alleging hurting their back on an escalator, leading to a settlement. The same juror also revealed they pled guilty to an insurance fraud relating to a car accident. Plus, we already told you about the juror who is a massage therapist whose sister is an alleged domestic violence victim. Plenty of colorful characters, and we're expecting more as the jury selection moves forward. Damn right, some colorful characters. This first day of jury selection definitely had some characters in it. I mean, one person stole Universal Studios was stealing a damn wand from Harry Potter. One found out about the parties on the Joe Rogan Experience. Yeah, these are some interesting jurors if they're picked. But they said they're going to try to go for a 3-day, to be done by day 3 of picking that jury. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to pick more male jurors versus female jurors, but we'll see. We're going to get into this video clip that I have, then I'll come back with my commentary.
Jury selection for the criminal trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs started today in New York City. The rapper and producer faces multiple charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. Prosecutors allege Combs was the mastermind behind a years-long operation to sexually abuse women. He denies any wrongdoing and rejected a plea deal that could have resulted in a lighter sentence. He faces life in prison if convicted. We're joined now by Gina Barton, investigative reporter for USA Today. Thanks for being with us, Gina. So jury selection started today. What are you hearing from your colleagues in the courtroom about how hard it's going to be to find people to serve on this case?
The judge has estimated that it'll only take 3 days to pick a jury, but from how slowly things are going, it may take longer. They're interviewing each juror separately and individually. They have 150 people that they called in. One of them, they spoke to a single person for about 25 minutes. So it could take quite a while to find 12 jurors and some alternates.
And the complication is that there are very few people who don't know who he is, or at least know something about this case.
There are so many people who know about the case, who are familiar with Sean Puffy Combs, who have seen the video of him allegedly attacking his former girlfriend, Cassie, in a hotel hallway. And they're also asking jurors if they have ever been sexually assaulted or know anyone close to them who has been sexually assaulted, because they want jurors who are going to be objective and not have any thoughts about victimization coming in. And as you know, about 25% of women have had some sort of experience with sexual assault or sexual harassment. So that's another challenge.
His 17-page indictment, as I understand it, has been updated 3 times since September. What federal charges is he facing as of now?
As of now, he's facing 5 different charges. There is RICO, which is racketeering. There's sex trafficking, and then also bringing women across state lines for sex trafficking and for sexual exploitation and victimization. So there are a couple of different charges under each of those umbrellas. The important thing to point out is that the RICO charge, or the racketeering charge, also includes all sorts of other alleged conduct, arson, kidnapping, a whole bunch of other acts that could be considered crimes if he's found guilty.
And who are the witnesses we're expecting the government to bring?
I think for sure we're going to see at least 2 women who are charging that Combs sexually assaulted them. One of them would be his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who we have talked about as seen in that video. Another one we believe is Dawn Richard, who was on one of the seasons or a couple of the seasons of Making the Band on MTV. And she was in a group called Danity Kane and also a trio called Diddy Dirty Money. She filed a pretty extensive civil suit against him. And from what I'm reading in the criminal court documents, she's very likely to be a witness. There are going to be two other victims testifying. We don't know their names yet, but I would assume that they are probably also going to be alleging some sort of sexual assault or abuse.
And just last week, Sean Combs rejected a plea deal. He says he's innocent. What are we expecting the gist of the defense strategy to be?
From what we've been able to find out in reading through the court records and going to some of the hearings, I think the only defense that he will be able to present is consent, because he's got these women saying the sexual encounters happened. They seized lots of video evidence from his homes, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these incidents are on video. And so all the experts I've talked to in the past week have said that his defense is likely going to be consent. And then one of my colleagues who was in court for a hearing last week heard them talking about swingers. So it sounds like the defense might say that Sean Puffy Combs was involved in kind of an alternative fringe sexual lifestyle with his girlfriends, trading partners, but that it was all consensual.
Gina Barton, investigative reporter for USA Today. Gina, thanks again for your time this evening. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and we're back. So in that video clip that we heard that Diddy did reject a plea deal that was offered last week. He said he is innocent. If he's convicted, he's going to get life in prison. They have called in at 150 people to be potential jurors. They spoke with one juror for 25 minutes that we heard in that clip. So they don't think that they're going to be able to get that jury selected in those 3 days, but that is what the judge is going for. I'm assuming that this judge is trying to go ahead and get this trial over with. Yeah, I can imagine he would want to go ahead and get this over with, because it's going to be so high profile. So many people want to know what's going on, and just go ahead and get this out of the way. Go ahead. Is he innocent or is he guilty? What else we got? He's facing 5 charges. It seems like that RICO charge is going to be the biggest charge. That's going to be the charge that's really going to cook him if he gets convicted of that charge, because that charge has so many things, other layers up under that RICO charge. They said we're going to hear from Cassie Ventura. Everybody knows Cassie. And they say we're going to hear from Don Richards. Everyone knows Don Richards from Danity Kane and also Dirty Money. And also 2 other unidentified women that may be also testifying. We will see. What else we got? The defense strategy, they're going to be going for defense as he is a swinger and had an alternative lifestyle, and also that he gave, there was consent. That's pretty much going to be the defense for him. I don't know how well that's going to work out for him. This is just day 1, so we're going to see what happens on day 2. I will be back tomorrow to give you the information on what happens on day 2. I'm pretty sure it'll be just more information on the jurors that they were interviewing. So yeah, we're definitely keeping an eye on this story till we get a resolution on if Diddy's guilty or not. If you want to know my opinion, I think he is guilty. I think he may do some time. We're not sure, but I do think he's guilty, and he needs to do some time. If he's found guilty of all these things that is being alleged, yes, he does need life in prison. So we're going to see. We're going to ride this out to the end. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's been your boy King Pablo. Peace.